Welcome to the Whitton Library community space, transformed in normal times by local people into a cinema, a theatre, a comedy or poetry club, and a place in which to share knowledge and interests, such as the history of our town. So until things get back to normal, why not join us for a taste of things to come?
The brief for the poster was quite clear. Park reopening today for responsibly distanced outdoor exercise. I said to Dave, the poster should have read the Friends of Whitton Park, not the Fiends of Whitton Park. I told him the missing R had nothing to do with the coronavirus R factor. That was a completely different conversation altogether, but he wouldn't have it. Hundreds of the blessed posters were distributed throughout Whitton. My social media was awash with comedians who thought it was very funny. I didn't say to Dave that he was to blame necessarily, but someone was, and it certainly wasn't me. They all sat there 2 weeks ago listening to me explain point by point in great detail all that needed to be done, how it was going to be done and who was going to do it. I can't be expected to do it all by myself, not all of the time, although God knows I try. Dave was nominated welfare officer. It was his responsibility to restrict the number of people using each toilet facility at any one time and to supervise the required sanitary cleaning regime, including door handles, toilet flush and locks, all of which meant nothing. I wasn't aware that they were a job lot from the Queen's portable toilet lavatory provider. I imagine lots of businesses went under as a result of the coronavirus ruining key high society sporting events. But what was the use of them locked? The facilities in the community hall were unavailable. Yes, even to volunteers. I wasn't about to start creating precedents. Therein lies chaos. The community hall was designated Command HQ and had to remain secure. I told Marjorie on gate A she should have gone before she left home and that it was pointless calling on the government to do something. Thank your fellow local residents for their lack of support, I told her. I can only coax, persuade and cajole. I can't magic up support. Helen on gate D also had problems. Within just minutes before the grand opening, I had to talk her through the plan. Again. A clockwise route around the park, starting with Marjorie on gate A and thereafter following an agreed social distancing signage. Only two at a time, unless there was a designated carer or an extended family member to assist with the vulnerable. I had no idea what the chances were of multiple vulnerabilities across an extended family unit. Out of all the volunteers, I thought I could depend on Malcolm, but even he appeared confused. No, I didn't have the minutes of the last meeting to hand. Yes, it would have been helpful if Maureen had posted the minutes beforehand, but there we were. It was a matter of getting on with what we'd all agreed with, even if we didn't remember agreeing to it. As for the man wearing what Malcolm described as an oversized plastic lunchbox on his head as protection against the virus, I said, if the gentleman's comfortable taking his exercise wearing it, then that's his prerogative. It was up to the frightened children's parents to consider taking legal action. It was 11 o'clock and Park was due to open for the first time in 3 months. I grasped the authorised air horn and held it to the open window to signal a small return to normality. And nothing. I pulled the trigger again. Nothing. I read and I reread the instructions, but nothing. Then the phone went. It was Sue. I told her I knew it had gone 11 o'clock and that the authorised signal air horn had failed. I told her I needed to alert Marjorie on gate A to begin the agreed clockwise circulation. But this was all news to Sue. I hadn't realised she'd missed the last meeting due to her condition. I had no idea she suffered from that. I told her I was sympathetic. Truly, I was. I didn't mean to blaspheme, but when she told me she'd already opened her gate, I did begin to lose my renowned restraint. And no, I didn't know why a strange man was walking about in Helen's high-vis vest and waving her walkie-talkie about. Sue wasn't keen on asking for these items to be returned, despite the inevitable cost implications. Nor did she think it was worthwhile asking the man if he was interested in becoming a friend of Whitton Park. Malcolm's use of the term anarchy wasn't at all helpful. The controlling system, i.e. me, was still in place in Trim Trail HQ. I advised him to close the gate if the crowd was difficult to control, and he was about to tell me that the gate had gone missing when Brian Bunce, the leader of the council, called me on my mobile. I told him. The park was buzzing with enthusiasm. Yes, there was a great deal of noise, but only to be expected after people had been cooped up for months. If only I'd turned off the ruddy walkie-talkie. Brian overheard Malcolm shout out anarchy again. I had to explain that the code red was an agreed ultimate emergency call sign covering riots and public disorder, and I was prevented from explaining any further when a brick came through the window. It made such a noise that Brian couldn't fail to hear it, nor the sound of subsequent cheering, nor the emergency vehicle sirens. Thank God Dave had a key to the community hall. He got me out just as the smoke began to fill the building. The next day I did try my best to explain everything to Brian, but it's not the same on Zoom.